played at Granger Stadium. So there's been baseball there. There's been some other things, but no professional baseball since 2019. So it's been a long time since professional baseball has been there, and it's going to be very different this year because 30 teams have out of minor league baseball have pretty much been eliminated. Have gone by the wayside because after this pandemic, it was Major League Baseball announced they were going to kind of reconfigure things. So now the Wood Ducks are in a low A affiliate. It used to be a high A affiliate, so they've dropped down. But everything has really changed, and I'm very interested about some of the rules changes in minor league baseball this year that Major League Baseball is trying out on those levels to see if they want to implement those in Major League. So there's a couple of those in minor league, and one that's going to affect the Wood Ducks in low A is the step off throw to first base rule, where you can only do that twice. If you do it 3 times, it's a balk while runners are on base. So it speeds up the game. I'm a big fan of any way that can speed up the game, and I know the low A, I think West, is implementing the electronic balls and strikes.
Yeah,
that's not going to eliminate an umpire behind the plate because he's going to still have to relay that, in a strike or a ball sign, and other calls will be made. I don't know how that is.
That's weird.
That implemented in person.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see it though, and but the thing I like, Clip, is I'm okay with change, and you never know what you're going to like until you actually see it. You can talk about it, but until you see it in practice, and I think doing that, Major League Baseball has the ability to do that. Like the NFL, when they change rules, they change them. They're in the NFL, and people say, "I don't like that," or "I do like that." At least with Major League Baseball, they have the ability to test those out at lower levels before they implement those in Major League Baseball. So I'm actually looking forward to see how some of those affect the rules.
I do feel like part of the game with baseball is the questionable calls, bad calls. I missed that one, so I'm really against the robot umps. I'll complain about calls here and there, but for me, that's part of the game. And it's 50-50. Calls are going to go against your team. Calls are going to go for your team. So that's pretty radical, Weave. And like you said, I do want to see what it's like, in person. How awkward is that for that ump that has to be behind the plate, though?
Yeah, he's just the guy relaying the message. And he's still going to get yelled at. How about that? Says it's a strike. It rings up a guy. He's still going to get yelled at, and it's not even his fault.
You know what? We need the robot out there to take the heat. We need somebody to yell at, and not Joe West back there. Leave him alone.
You should be able to throw things at the robot and not get in trouble, because it's not going to hurt him, and it's not going to hurt anything.
Exactly.
But you know what? And the thing is about this clip, we've already gone through this because we thought that instant replay was going to fix every one of those calls.
Right.
Even instant replay, when they look at it,
right.
The people at home, how many times have we seen a call on instant replay that says, okay, that's going to get overturned, or there's no way he was safe on that, and the call on the field stands, and they still get it wrong. So I think that's still going to be a problem with balls and strikes. They can't get their instant replay right. How are we going to know that every ball and strike is going to be right?
Yeah, what if the computer malfunctions and then you got a terrible call because the something's off on the mainframe? I don't know. And I don't know. It's going to make for some funny talk, that's for sure. Let's see what else. I know I want to get some NASCAR before we get out of here. This is the second straight week where I have pretty much stopped watching the race thinking it was over, and something happened at the end. 2 weeks ago, I thought my guy Matt DiBenedetto was going to get his first win. That changed. He did not. Then last week, I thought Larson was dominating. I stopped following it and turned back to see Kyle Busch had won. And Chase Elliott, I had him for a top 5 bet, so he somehow snuck into number 5. So I was happy about that. So once again, Billy, that's 2 weeks in a row where we've kind of seen some things change at the end of races.
And NASCAR loves that.
Yeah,
because they're keeping viewers around, and that's the thing. It's been a very unpredictable season with that, and it shows you got to kind of stick around to the end because you never know what's going to happen. So NASCAR is really eating that up right now, and they're loving it. They're loving the with so many, the diversity of different drivers, and they're loving that there's so many different drivers winning right now. And my guy still has not won. My guy is actually Chase Elliott, but the guy I've been picking every week. And guess, I was doing some research, and I thought about Darlington coming up, and I thought, you know what? I think Denny Hamlin is actually really good there, and he is. He won the fall race. He won the last race last year.
There you go.
At Darlington. And he is odds-on favorite once again to win at Darlington. I mean, the thing is about Darlington is you can pick out a handful of guys, and if you bet on that handful of guys at Darlington, it's not about racing the other drivers. It's not about Kyle Busch against Denny Hamlin, against Kurt Busch, against whoever the rest of the field. It's not, because if you start racing the other racers, the track's going to jump up and bite you. That's the only place on the circuit where you have to race the racetrack. And I know that sounds weird. You're thinking, okay, I'm going to race an inanimate object. That's not possible. Well, that's how those guys have to look at it, because that is such a tough track. It's such a tricky, very difficult, intricate. So there's a reason it's called Too Tough to Tame, because you got to be able to tame the track. So when I say there's a handful of guys that you can pick that are probably going to be in the winner's circle there, it's because you have to be a veteran driver. You have to be a guy that's gone around a lot of laps at that track to figure it out. And those are the guys that win. The Denny Hamlins, the Brad Keselowskis, the Kevin Harvicks, and the Martin Truex Jr.'s. Those four guys right there are the cream of the crop right now in NASCAR when it comes to Darlington. I would be very shocked to see a rookie or someone that has not won a race yet on the NASCAR circuit to end up winning that race.
It's coming up Sunday at 3:30. Next week at Dover. The All-Star race this year is in Texas. Is that May 30th, Sunday, 6 o'clock? Is that the traditional, I guess, 600, the longest race of the season?
Yeah, and it coincides with an Indianapolis 500. It's Memorial Day weekend. Okay. It's the big racing weekend, and it always has been. So the Coca-Cola 600, the old drivers, you can tell how old a driver is or how long a guy has been around. You'll hear Richard Petty say it. You'll hear Kyle Petty say it. You'll hear maybe even Dale Earnhardt Jr. and some of those guys, but some of the real older, the much older guys, they'll call it the World 600, because back in the day, that's what it was. It was the World 600 at Charlotte, and that was the longest, most grueling race, and it was one of the crown jewels of racing. And it's always been on Memorial Day weekend and coincides with the Indianapolis 500. So it's always cool to see those guys that would try to do the Indianapolis 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 in the same weekend and get it done. So it's going to be a big weekend of racing coming up here at the end of the month.
We've before we let you go, Washington. How did you feel about their draft? I didn't know a lot of the players they drafted. All I know is I wanted a linebacker, a corner, an offensive lineman. They were able to get all of that. And the only player I knew early on that they drafted was Brown from UNC, the wide receiver. So I, again, don't know the Joes and Jimmies, so to speak, but I love that they filled positions they needed to, and I've been kind of researching the guys they drafted, Davis, the linebacker out of Kentucky, and the tackle from Texas, and I'm excited, Weave. How about you? What'd you think of it, if anything?
I am too, and you hit it right on the head. They address the needs, and I there are times that you take the best available player in the draft, no matter what, on how high it is. Sometimes you just can't. You just really cannot pass up on a guy, and that's typically what the Jets do, and the Browns. They pass up. They have a high draft pick, and they pass up on a guy that's a dead solid lock to be an incredible player to get at a need base, and then they're filling maybe one of their 20 needs.
Well, that's my problem. Jamar Chase would be a great receiver, but Joe Burrow needs offensive line help, and I really think the Jaguars taking Travis Etienne, who's again a great player and a very good running back, but don't the Jags need more than run? They got two running backs that played well last year. Like, that's, I think, what you're talking about, where you go out and make the splashy pick rather than the pick you actually need.
Well, that's the thing is everybody, you know what, the fans, they see the sexy pick.
Oh, yeah.
They do. But you know what? Those aren't the positions that win and lose ball games. It's down in the trenches. It's your defensive back. It's your linebackers. It's the guys that don't get the headlines, and especially on the offense and defensive line. When you pick those guys, look at Chase Young. I mean, obviously, he was still a sexy pick as well anyway, but look what he has done for that defensive line and at the defensive end position. And when you solidify the positions in the trenches, that's why, like you said, I was glad to see Washington get an offensive lineman, because there's been so much problems with the offensive line, and most of it's become with age and injuries and things like that. You cannot have too many very good offensive linemen. I like that pick as well. Defensive secondary was a major problem for Washington last year because they had shored up the defensive line.
Yeah.
Now when you've got your defensive line set, having that extra linebacker in there to be able to come in and help, and defensive secondary, I think that defense is going to look really good this year. And you've got a few pieces and parts on offense that can make things happen. And who knows, maybe we could get into the Aaron Rodgers lottery if that ever comes about.
That was a wild story on Thursday. Kind of calmed down since then, maybe, but I'm sure if the NFL feels like they're being left out of the headlines, they'll crank that one back up for us and give us something to talk about.
Yeah, that's going to be something that's going to go all the way up to the season.
Yeah.
And I think even Vegas right now has a line on whether or not Aaron Rodgers will be the starting quarterback. I think there's a whatever to 1 odds that he will be the starting quarterback for Green Bay next season, or this coming season.
Weave, good stuff. Thanks for joining us today, man. We appreciate it. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, we'll see you, man.
WIT and Sports Director Billy Weaver. Always enjoy talking sports with Weave Tuesdays here on Pirate Radio Live. We will take a time out, come back, and get ready to wrap up hour number 1 and get you set for hour number 2. More to go on PRL. We're back with you after this.
You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful. That's when it's most important to have a community bank and a local banker in your corner. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust. Our team of local bankers care about you, our customer, and the communities in which we all live and serve together. As the business and economic conditions of 2020 threw you many curveballs, our team at Select Bank and Trust remains steadfast in being responsive to your ever-changing needs. In 2021, choose Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
In studio with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. Dr. Jones, you guys are expanding and growing.
Yeah, we sure are. One of the things that a lot of people don't know is that we actually have a pediatric practice as well. It's called Kinetic Pediatric Therapy. We've got speech, physical, and occupational therapy there just for kids. If you're concerned about your child's development or just want to make sure they're on track, you can bring them in for a screen. If they need evaluation, we're able to do that and help them continue to develop. For more information, you can visit us at kptkids.com or give us a call, 689-6043.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
Hey Birdland, join us at Oriole Park May 7th through the 10th as the O's take on the Boston Red Sox. On Saturday, May 8th, we honor Negro League history when all fans will receive a Baltimore Elite Giants replica cap. On Sunday, May 9th, bring mom to the ballpark and celebrate Mother's Day. The first 10,000 fans will receive an Orioles Infinity Scarf. Individual tickets are on sale now, or check out the 5-game flex plan and pick the games that fit your schedule. Enjoy a day at Oriole Park. Purchase your tickets today at Orioles.com/tickets.
In studio today with Natalie Edwards from AG Home Solutions and eXp Realty. Natalie, you have a unique partnership because you work in the real estate market and also work with AG Home Solutions. How does that help your clients?
So it's interesting, the trends that we're currently seeing in real estate. Inventory is so low. We're seeing a high percentage of folks who want to renovate their spaces, perhaps add a home office because now they're working from home. And so they come to us with those design ideas, and we're folks being able to do virtual learning from home. So how can we redesign that space space so it's functional. We're also seeing folks that do want to take advantage of this being a seller's market, and so they want to freshen up that space and get it ready to put on the market. And so we can come in and provide them with some good guidance on things that they might want to consider before they list their property.
For real estate or remodeling, how can folks contact you?
252-947-2526 or aghomesolutions.com.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico, a huge 46-ounce lime margarita for only $6.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach.
For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's in downtown Fiesta never ends.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Pirate Radio.
We are not coming together to just be average. We want to build a program that will year in and year out compete for the American Athletic Conference Championship and compete nationally against any and everybody.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Are you in outside sales and looking for an opportunity to increase your earning potential? CopyPro has been in Eastern North Carolina for over 45 years and continues to grow each year, and they are in need of more sales professionals with a desire to potentially make a six-figure income. Do you have what it takes? Visit copypro.net today to submit your resume and to learn more. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, welcome back to the program. I don't think I played fantasy baseball last year. I'm not playing this year. I'm on a fantasy baseball hiatus. If you have Clayton Kershaw, cover your ears. Clayton Kershaw today went one inning, allowed 4 runs on 4 hits, walked 2, and that is all the baseball he pitched today. Through 39 first inning pitches, the Cubs put up 4 runs on them. They have since added 2 more, and right now it's not a 2 more. It is 6-0 Cubs over the Dodgers in Wrigleyville. Coming up tonight, my Braves versus Chandler's Nationals. House divided, Pirate Radio House divided game.
Wow.
Coming up tonight. We have O's baseball late night, right, Shirley? O's and Mariners?
Yeah, 10:05 is going to be our... Wait a minute. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure it's 10:05, but...
I see 10:10 as far as the game goes.
Yeah,
so.
we usually jump in at about 5 minutes till the first pitch, so 10:05 is our airtime.
Boston will try to increase on their lead in the AL East and their impressive 17-12 record, and they should be able to do so because they take on the Tigers. So the Detroit Tigers have the worst record in Major League Baseball at 8-21, and Boston right now, sitting at 17 wins, is the second most in all of baseball. 17-12, the A's with the best record, 18-12 right now in Major League. So that's what's going on in Major League Baseball. Chandler mentioned it earlier. Miles Bridges out tonight and out for a couple of weeks, and you just hope he's back for that stupid play-in thing that they're doing, Chandler, because if he's got to be out 2 weeks, that puts us right on right around that time, right?
Right.
When is that date? Do you remember?
The 18th.
Yeah, so we are less than 2 weeks away.
Yep.
From the play-in game, which is very strange.
That's a big loss because Miles Bridges has been a highlight reel ever since LaMelo went down. Not putting anything down on Terry Rozier or other guys that have stepped up as well, like Devontae Graham. But Miles Bridges has been the face of the Charlotte Hornets ever since the absence of LaMelo Ball. I mean, just with his high-flying dunks, and he's also has stepped up and has shot the three ball well. So his absence is gonna be an impact.
Hornets are favorites tonight on the road. Why is this depleted team favorites on the road while they play the 19-46 Detroit Pistons? That is a
yikes
bad team. Suns on the road at Cleveland tonight. Suns.
When was the last time the Pistons were good?
Well, so they won the championship in what, 04? I don't know.
04?
Have they been any good since then?
Yeah. Sorry to kind of bring you back to the Pistons Hornets matchup, which is not pretty, but
yeah, I don't know. They have been a bit of an irrelevant franchise. They had their kind of rebirth with Larry Brown, Rip Hamilton, Ben Wallace, Chauncey, and I don't know. They just a struggling franchise there. Speaking of struggling franchises, the Suns are 2 seasons removed from winning 19 games. And now they still have the best record. No, the Jazz won. So now the Jazz have a half-game lead over the Suns. But Phoenix is 46-18. They won just 19 games a couple years ago.
Yeah, I mean, the addition of Chris Paul has just been him and Devin Booker have been such a great pair in Phoenix, and they also have some young guys in Mikal Bridges but Phoenix is just on a tear right now. One of the best teams in the league.
And should be able to knock off the Cavs tonight. Hurricanes in action tonight, coming off a win last night. And Carolina will take on the Blackhawks coming up in PNC Arena. And right now, they are in first place in their division. And when you look at the entire NHL, the Canes have 77 points. That is now 3 ahead of Vegas for the most points in all of hockey. And that is important because if the Canes can make it through a couple of rounds in the playoffs, they're going to reseed things. And there's a chance the Hurricanes could have home ice advantage throughout. And that would be fantastic. So 52 games played. The Canes only have a few games left. Our buddy Tony Dunn is headed to a game coming up on Thursday, which will be their home finale. So they play tonight against Chicago, Thursday against Chicago, and then 2 on the road at Nashville May the 8th, at Nashville May the 10th, and that is all she wrote. Let's see if they have a date for the Stanley Cup playoffs.
So we'll be able to get a post-game wrap-up from Tony Dunn on Friday.
Coming up on Friday's edition of Pirate Radio Live. So if the season wraps up next Monday, do they wait till the weekend to start the playoffs, or would they start it on a weekday? Let's see. Stanley Cup playoffs begin. Can't find it right now. But that is coming up very, very soon.
It's about that time clip, Brock, for me to hop on the bandwagon.
It says May 11th, subject to change. That's not going to be right. That would be next Tuesday. I don't think they would start it then, so it might be a couple days later. But yeah, you're ready to go for the bandwagon?
Absolutely. I'm ready to be at AJ's on a Wednesday night for trivia, and with all the Caniacs that they have there, I'm ready to jump on board and get excited for Canes playoff hockey.
Man, I hope we do get some Wednesday playoff games at AJ's. That would be fun. Coming up July 21st, the NHL Expansion Draft featuring this team.
The Carolina Panthers?
The NHL Expansion Draft.
NHL Expansion Draft featuring
Carolina Hurricanes.
The Carolina Hurricanes.
The Las Vegas Knights.
Who is the new team joining the NHL?
Seattle Kraken.
Oh, the Kraken.
Seattle. What'd you say?
Seattle Kraken.
That is correct.
Release the Kraken.
Seattle Kraken will have the expansion draft coming up on July 21st as they enter the National Hockey League. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We will talk some Major League Baseball, some Baltimore Orioles, and look around what's going on in MLB with Mark Brown, CamdenChat.com. How about the O's? Playing well, just one game under 500. And a player we talked to Mark about last time, Cedric Mullins, leads the American League.
He hit a home run last night that almost wasn't a home run. It almost got robbed.
Correction, he doesn't lead the American League. He leads Major League Baseball in hits right now. So we will, a bit of a surprise what's going on with these Baltimore Orioles. We'll talk about that with Mark Brown when we return after this.
In studio with Jay from Villa Verde. And Jay, a special event going on in our community this week, teamed up with F3 ENC, and we're going to be talking about men's mental well-being. What's going to be going on?
We're going to have men's workout. We're going to have breakfast. We're going to have a gathering of men from our community coming together and locking arms, making sure that every single man in our community is doing well mentally.
If you want to participate, go to f3enc.com/tribe and look for details of where this is going to be. Starts at 6:30 a.m. with a F3 workout for 45 minutes. At 7:15, there's going to be speakers from our community talking about men's mental well-being. Jay, we all need this. Folks can come out for either or both, so we hope to have a big crowd this Saturday.
We're counting on you. Step up.
Don't miss this awesome community event on men's mental well-being this Saturday. Go to f3enc.com/tribe to learn more. This event is open to all men. Go to f3enc.com/tribe.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal: to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get a 2021 Cadillac XT6 and save over $4,750. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
The Tauber River Bandits are back, and this year we'll have a full season, and all fans are welcome this year. Come watch some of the best collegiate baseball around with over 20 Division I players on this active roster looking to compete at a high level. We have a family-friendly atmosphere, awesome stadium, food and drink specials, plus the coldest beer on the East. Come do something different with the family this summer with the Tauber River Bandits. 29 home games to choose from. Tickets available at the gate or online at TarboroughRiverBandits.com.
At U.S. Cellular, we see our customers as more than just customers. They're neighbors. When you switch to U.S. Cellular, you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. As a neighbor, you deserve it. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Hey Pirate fans, it's time to get that yard done right with the new John Deere mower from Quality Equipment. Our premium lawn care lineup is what every homeowner needs this spring. A John Deere will change the way you mow with easy-to-use attachments, effortless steering, and intuitive controls. Right now, save up to $700 on X300, X500, and X700 series mowers. Learn more at QualityEquip.com and get quality done right. Offer ends 10/29/21. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Okay, let's just try not to embarrass ourselves and everything will be fine.
Yeah, sure, totally. Is that a Pepsi Wild Cherry?
Oh, no. Please, not here. Not here.
Too late. You know something, Steve? Flavor Mania is about to run wild.
Oh, not Flavor Mania.
Pepsi Wild Cherry's about to drop a flavor suplex right into your pie hole. It's gonna hit your taste buds with a top rope elbow of flavor. It's gonna be delicious. It's gonna be refreshing. It's gonna throw your wild cherry loving brain right through the announcer's table.
Oh, I can't take you anywhere.
Flavor Mania doesn't need your permission, Steve, because the world knows that nothing is gonna get between Pepsi Wild Cherry and that flavor championship belt. Are you ready to get wild?
Oh, please don't.
Come
get
on,
wild.
Steve. I said, are you ready to get wild?
Seriously, does this always have to happen when you drink Pepsi Wild Cherry?
You better believe it, brother.
Pepsi Wild Cherry. Now available in 0 sugar. That's what I like.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. From sales to service, Greenville Auto World has all your vehicle needs covered. Shop all of their inventory now at greenvilleautoworld.net. If you're also looking for someone to service your vehicle, Greenville Auto World has a full service and repair facility, brakes, oil changes, tires, inspections, and they can repair any kind of vehicle. Greenville Auto World across from Speedway at Bells Fork and online at greenvilleautoworld.net. Thanks to Tim Sutton and Jim Rogers of Greenville Auto World for their sponsorship of the program. Now let's head back into PRL. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Stephen Igoe said to join us in about 25 minutes, and also next hour, we'll hear what Cliff Godwin had to say earlier today as he met with the media. A big series coming up with the Tulane Green Wave, who actually sit atop the American Athletic Conference right now, ECU, after back-to-back 2-2 weekends, looking up at the Green Wave, but the Pirates still looking to hear their name call when they announce the early preliminary regional sites coming up next week. All right, let's talk some Major League Baseball, and man, how about the O's? We had Mark Brown, Camden Chad on a couple weeks ago, and we said it's a pretty big stretch for the O's to kind of see where they are, to try to keep their head above water. They had a series against the A's, and then the Yankees, and then the A's again. They go through those three series 500. They win last night against Seattle on the road. So, Mark, since the last time we talked, the Orioles are above 500 and playing pretty well, probably to the surprise of you and a lot of folks there in Baltimore.
Yeah, Clip, I tell you what, I had recap duty on Camden Chat last night, so I was up till 1 a.m. to wait for that game to finish. So I'm glad it ended well for the Orioles, or I'd be a little bit grumpier about them right now, having to stay up late and get a loss. But yes, they're 14-15 right now, so they got a chance to get back to 500 with another late-night game tonight. And, yeah, I mean, you know, they for all the preseason jokes were, the Orioles have 0% chance of making, doing anything. You know, they're 6 games better than the worst record in baseball right now, which is the Detroit Tigers at 8-21. So, over the remaining 5 months or so of games, that could change. Things could get worse, but so far the Orioles are not playing great, but they're doing a little bit better than expected, and that's better than nothing.
Mark, growing up as a kid, the Braves were in the National League West and played against the Padres and Giants and Dodgers, and on the weekends and during the summer, I could stay up a little bit and watch some of those games, and that was fun. And now, from time to time, I enjoy a West Coast trip if it's on the weekend or if I'm able to watch it. But how about you, Mark, as a guy who watches most of his baseball at 7 p.m. against the NL East teams? Do you enjoy the rare trips out west, or is it kind of a burden on you having to stay up to the end of those?
Well, Clip, I have some good memories, like you, of watching the Orioles do some West Coast games. Especially there was the game in 2012 where they played the Mariners. It went 18 innings in September, and they ended up winning in 18 and got into a tie for first place in the AL East on that particular evening. So the game ended at like 4 in the morning Eastern time or something. That was very exciting. That was also 9 years ago when I was on the wrong side of 30. So. Right. Now I'm 37, and I find the prospect of games that end at 1 o'clock in the morning less exciting than I used to. But
understood.
It could be worse.
When you look at Major League Baseball hit leaders right now, about 25 to 30 games into the season. Of course, you got a couple of Red Sox up there because they have been playing great at 17-12. Xander Bogaerts and J.D. Martinez up near the top. Nick Castellanos has had a great year for the Cincinnati Reds. He's up there. Justin Turner, of course, Mike Trout. But at the top of that list, Mark, is North Carolina's own Cedric Mullins. We talked about him last time you joined us on the show. Hitting .333 right now, leads all of Major League Baseball with 38 hits, and has played well for Baltimore here early in the season.
Yeah, you got really the two best stories on the Orioles are Mullins and John Means. And Mullins, for anyone who doesn't know or maybe forgot, so the story with Cedric Mullins this year is he had been a switch hitter up to this point in his professional career. And for this year, he decided he was going to give up switch hitting and just bat exclusively left-handed, which was his natural battings. And the result is what we're getting so far. As you said, he's got a 333 batting average, 389 on base, 553 slugging percentage. He is one of the probably best 6 to 8 position players in all of MLB so far, with how he's hitting combined with how he's played on defense. And it's just great to see, because he was a guy I had kind of written off. As we talked about last time, in 2019, he got demoted all the way back down to Double-A. He was doing badly at the major league level, got demoted to Triple-A, wasn't doing well there. He got sent down to Double-A, and he's managed to turn it around while giving up switch hitting. When he's facing lefty pitchers as a lefty batter, he had really not done that since he was I think a junior in high school, something like that. So it's really kind of a remarkable feat of athleticism that he could just pick that up and do so well. So, it's 1 month into the season, but so far it's a great story, and I hope it keeps going.
And Mark, you mentioned John Means. He was an all-star in 2019. Not a great 2020 for John Means, but man, he has come out of the gate looking great in 2021. That ERA sitting at 1.70 right now. He's 3-0, 38 strikeouts to 10 walks on the year. And has been, the O's best player overall this year. And I don't know, do you look at him as an ace on this staff right now, Mark, moving forward?
He has certainly pitched like one in his 2019 season, and now it really feels like he's taken another step forward for 2021. So, again, it's not much fun to just say, oh, well, it's a small sample size, but he's only had 6 starts this year. A full season, you're probably going to get 32 starts. So, 26 more starts, a lot could happen. If he has 2 bad ones, suddenly it's going to be like, he's got like a 4 ERA, and that's okay. But it's not like, this guy's one of the aces of Major League Baseball, right? But so far, he's averaging over 6 innings per start. He's got a WHIP, which is walks plus hits per innings pitched, of less than 1, which for a starting pitcher is just phenomenal. He's striking out more than a batter per inning. He's just doing very well, and he's got one of the best ERAs of any major league pitcher. I think there's only like 2 or 3 ahead of him, and one of them I believe is Carlos Rodon, who threw a no-hitter. So you're talking John Means has a higher ERA than the guy who threw a no-hitter.
Mark Brown, CamdenChat.com, joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. We've been looking for a couple things to happen in the AL East. One of those is for the Red Sox to slow down, which, has not happened much. They're still 5 games over 500 right now, 17-12. And also the Yankees to pick it up. And, yeah, they sweep the Tigers. This is a big series for them as they welcome in the Houston Astros. And I saw Dusty Baker already say it's going to be wild when the Astros go to Yankee Stadium and have to hear from the fans and all of that. That's going to be very interesting. But Mark, what do you, when you look across the AL East right now, is your expectation for the standings to flip-flop a little bit, with maybe the Red Sox falling and the Blue Jays, Rays, and Yankees catching them? Or do you think the Sox can continue to play as well as they have?
Well, I tell you what I think is going to happen. I think one team, and I'm not bold enough to predict who, but I think one of those teams is going to just kind of surge up and just be way ahead of everybody else. Because currently, you got the Yankees are 14-14, Rays are 15-15. The Blue Jays are just 1 game over 500 at 14-13. So I think between them and the Red Sox, one of these teams is just going to probably go on a really hot May, and then they'll just be like 5 games or more ahead of everyone and just keep going. The Yankees obviously is the team with the big payroll in the division. They made the moves to give the big money to Garrett Cole, and he's pitching really like one of the aces of the league. They got so many big name guys. It's hard to bet against them. We'll see what happens. Certainly, they could end up being disappointing, but it still feels like that's the most likely outcome. Is just the Yankees kind of everything clicks and they get hot, and then they just zoom up.
Mark Brown, CamdenChat.com, joins us throughout the season here on Pirate Radio Live, and we talk to you last year, Mark, and we had some pretty sad, depressing chats when no baseball was happening, and then baseball did return, and it was nice. It was different. Feels a little more normal this year, but another thing that returns us to normalcy, Mark, and is probably a good thing for you and Orioles fans that is interested in the future of the franchise, is minor league baseball is back. Right down the road, we got the Down East Wood Ducks here, a Rangers affiliate. They begin play today. So you'll have some prospects to follow, Mark, and something to keep an eye on as far as what the future of this franchise could look like.
Yes, I personally am really excited that minor league baseball is going to be back. It's been more than 18 months since affiliates have been able to play any games. Obviously, that's through no fault of their own. We all know that there's been a lot of much worse impacts on the world from the pandemic than some people couldn't play minor league baseball. But, in our little sphere of, I'm an Orioles fan, and I'm looking forward to when the Orioles are good again. It was a bummer that they are a rebuilding team, and how are you going to rebuild when you can't have your minor leaguers play games? So now they're back, and I'm happy about that. I think the game I'm probably most excited for tonight is one of the top Orioles pitching prospects, DL Hall, who was their first-round pick in 2017, is going to be getting the opening day start for the AA Bowie Bay Sox. And his catcher is going to be 2019 number 1 overall pick, Adley Rutschman. So that's an exciting battery for the game. So hopefully there's Rutschman does something great, and DL Hall does something great too, and that's a great start for the minor league season for Orioles prospect watchers.
Mark Brown, CamdenChat.com, joining us. It is nice and toasty outside. Feels like summer baseball weather for sure. We got O's and Mariners going at it late night tonight, right here on Pirate Radio. As Mark, an opportunity to win this series coming up tonight, and an opportunity for the O's to continue their pretty good play on the road. Had a good series against the A's and trying to do the same against the Mariners. And looking ahead this weekend, they'll welcome the Red Sox into Camden Yards. So again, I'll say the same thing I said last time we talked a couple weeks ago, Mark. Kind of, some big series coming up.
Right. I mean, they haven't had any great streaks of baseball, but they haven't had any miserable ones either that have sent them down into, like I mentioned before, the Tigers are 8-21. So, of course, you never know what's about to happen. The Orioles could be about to start a 7-game losing streak tonight, and then suddenly they'd be down pretty close to the bottom. But they've avoided doing that so far. I think, as we mentioned, how good John Means has been pitching, it's going to be hard to, have that long of a losing streak as long as he's pitching well. That's a really good stopper to have in the rotation, a guy with a 1.70 ERA. So, we'll see what happens. Maybe the Red Sox will kind of dip back a bit. It's really, it's just, it's exciting to see what's happening. It's finally, it's not just like this joyless march. It feels like good things are happening. And that's even like the Orioles, honestly, as much as I could be pessimistic about them, they haven't even shown the best version of themselves yet, I think. Mountcastle, who just had a 7-game hitting streak, snapped last night, but even after a 7-game hitting streak, he's batting .208 with a .241 on base percentage, .297 slugging percentage. That's pretty rough numbers for, the first month of the season for a guy who I was hoping would be able to have something like a 30-home run season.
Yeah.
He's got 1 home run. I'm hoping for better from him. Like, even if you thought, he might struggle a little bit. Another guy in that category where even if you thought he might struggle is like Rio Ruiz is only batting .157. So it's like, well, how much longer are the Orioles going to give him? He's hitting that poorly. There's a couple of infielders at Norfolk who I would like to see get a chance if Ruiz is going to keep playing poorly. That's Jahmai Jones, who they got when they traded Alex Cobb to the Angels this past offseason, and Ryland Bannon, who they got in the Manny Machado trade with the Dodgers a few years ago now. So I guess the question will be, when do the Orioles start deciding, okay, some of these guys who are really struggling, we're going to do something different. Is Mountcastle going to get sent down to the minors if he keeps hitting that poorly? And, we'll see if they come out of those doldrums, and if they don't, then who's going to replace them and how well they do.
One more guy I want to ask you about, Mark, before we let you go. Matt Harvey, and one of the most overrated stats in baseball is the win-loss record, but Harvey has done pretty well to earn that 3-1 record he's got so far. I guess most notably going 6 innings, giving up 1 run, 3 hits against the Yankees back on April 26th. But he has won 3 straight starts now. And, you know, that Yankees performance is pretty impressive because he hasn't always been able to kind of handle pressure starts like that. So how's this experiment going? I guess it's going pretty well for the O's, right?
Yeah, you know, it's fun having a guy who already had like a big nickname from another team come, and he's on the Orioles now, and he's doing pretty good. I mean, he could be better, he could be worse, and it's just like in New York they called him the Dark Knight, and it's like, man, that's cool, we got the Dark Knight on our team, man, that's great. No, but I mean, he's got a 4.06 ERA, which, you know, that's not going to get you any $20 million a year contracts or anything like that. But on the website Baseball Reference, they keep track of what they call ERA plus, which is your ERA relative to the league average. So Matt Harvey has a 103 ERA plus, which means he is 3% better than the average American League pitcher so far this year. So that's a fine guy to have on your pitching staff. If he's your best pitcher, you got problems. If he's just a guy you got there, as it turns out right now, he's the number 2 pitcher on the Orioles pitching staff. Probably you'd like a little bit better than that, but you know, so far you can't complain about a guy who is average in the Orioles starting rotation after just some of the just really poor performances we've seen since about that.
So far, anyway, in Baltimore. Well, Mark, I wanted to get you on because while you're playing pretty well, we'll have these, even though your overall tone is still pessimistic when it comes to the Orioles. At least you've seen some pretty good baseball, and O's have been playing decent, so I wanted to get you on and talk about it, and we'll certainly do it again down the road, man.
It is nice to talk about the Orioles when there's stuff to be excited about. I'm really jazzed about the minor leagues starting back. You know,
yeah.
It's just buoy, but every one of the 4 affiliates is something to be really interested in. I mean, Norfolk has got 3 of their starting pitching prospects, some interesting infielders. Even down to low A, Delmarva is like all the infield draft picks of the Mike Elias era. It's just, you know, at now high A Aberdeen, you got Grayson Rodriguez, the first-round pick from 2018. I'm really, you know, he's one of the top 100 prospects in all of MLB. So just now they're going to be able to rack up some numbers, and we can start to see, you know, who's going to keep climbing the ladder towards Baltimore. And I'm just really excited to see how it goes.
Good stuff. And folks can check out CamdenChat.com for everything going on with the O's and the minor league guys as well. Mark, thanks for your time as always. Have a great rest of your week. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, sounds good, Cliff. Have a good one.
All right, thank you. There's Mark Brown, CamdenChat.com. We got O's and Mariners going on tonight right here on Pirate Radio as, once again, Baltimore has, I would say, outperformed what they were supposed to do, at least through 29 games. They're 14-15, an opportunity to get to 500 tonight when they take on Igoe's Mariners.
The Orioles didn't even have any odds to win the, I believe, to make the playoffs.
There was like and I saw this on like multiple sites, no chance. Now, 3 games back of the Red Sox, you got to say they at least have a shot. Now, this is all going to change. They'll probably finish in the basement of their of the American League East. In fact, if I had to bet on it, I would lay a pretty penny on that. But you can't deny that they've played well here out of the gate and given O's fans something to be happy about. All right, let's take a time out. We'll come back. Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, will join us here on Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday. We'll talk all things ECU, get you ready for the Pirates and the Green Wave. Talk some Pirate football recruiting. See if anything at all is going on with ECU basketball. That and more on the way with Stephen Igoe. We're back with you on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey, Troy D here with my good friend Kelvin Rawls from Pest Tech. Kelvin, I just want to thank you and Chris and all the great folks at Pest Tech for such awesome service. You totally eliminated the mosquitoes in my backyard, plus the fire ant problem I was having in the yard.
Hey, you're certainly welcome, Troy. I have heard the same thing from all of our customers through the year of COVID. With everyone being home, they want to enjoy the outside and being mosquito, fire ant, and pest-free.
Enjoy all your property from the kitchen to the curb. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com today for complete service.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those, but anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, a wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly. Baseball is back, and the Wood Ducks have so much in store this season. We have dollar beer every Thursday, presented by Natural Life. Mother Earth Friday with discounted beer prices. Giveaways and Pepsi Saturdays plus Sundays are Dogs and Dogs Days, presented by Riverbank Animal Hospital and Friendly Mart Food Stores. Be sure to purchase your game tickets in advance or online at woodducksbaseball.com or by calling Wood Ducks offices at 252-686-5164. Book soon for the 2021 season. Go Woodies!
In studio today with Tony Edwards from AG Home Solutions. And Tony, you love to help people remodel spaces or even do new construction.
We do, and we also can help people find financing when they want to do projects like this. And so we partner with folks like Joey Barrow with Annie Mac Mortgage.
And Joey's in studio with us as well. And Joey, people have a lot of financing questions to be able to help reach the home of their dreams, whether it's remodel or new construction.
No matter how large or small the project may be, we have options for you. Even if you have credit concerns, we provide guidance to help you get the home of your dream or turn the home that you currently have into the home of your dream.
Joey, how can folks get up with you?
You can call us today at 917-8400, or you can go to our website at greenville.annie-mac.com.
And Tony, what about if people have renovation questions? How can they get up with AG Home Solutions?
You can contact us at 947-2526 or check out our website at aghomesolutions.com.
Thanks again to Tony Edwards from AG Home Solutions and Joey Barrow from Annie Mac Mortgage joining us today.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. Your office deserves a proactive tech support approach instead of always reacting to issues after the damage is done. You need BizCare. BizCare tech support and cybersecurity plans keep you ahead of potential issues and much safer from cyber threats like ransomware. What's at your office? Call William today to schedule your free BizCare consultation or learn more at universitypccare.com.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
This is Coach Blake Carroll, defense coordinator for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio for 18 years. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, expecting the arrival of Stephen Igoe from Hoist the Colors, but he just sent me a picture a moment ago. He is stuck at the train.
Oh.
He said, train is just chilling. Might be a while.
That sucks.
Yep.
Been there, done that.
Gotta hate the train. So, while we wait, I'll tell you that the Cubs lead the Dodgers 7-0 in the 6th inning. And come on out to A.J. McMurphy's Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, for some sports trivia. And let's do a little trivia right now. Chandler, on this day in 1990, this Oriole set the relief pitcher record of 41 consecutive scoreless innings. He shares the first and last name of a former Carolina Panther. I mean, obviously you don't know the pitcher, so just name a former Panther.
Steve Smith.
That's a good guess. That is a very common name, but that is incorrect. The answer is Greg Olson.
Oh, wow.
Greg with 2 G's Olson is the answer to that question. How about this? On this day in 2015, he was named the MVP for the 2014-15 NBA season. He won the MVP award again the following season in 2016. Those are his only 2 MVP awards.
James Harden.
James Harden is incorrect.
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook is incorrect. Westbrook won in 17. Harden won in 18. I'm looking for the player that won right before that. You're all over it. He's won 2.
I'm not sure.
He is a guard.
Steph Curry.
And he's on absolute fire right now. Steph Curry is correct. Big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau, said yesterday to ride with the Steph Curry over, was it 6.5 or 5.5?
I thought it was 5, but it might have been 5.5. That was just too easy.
5.5 3-pointers, and Curry had that maybe by halftime. I think he had at least 7 before the third quarter ended. I'm going to see how many he finished with.
I want to say he started the game out with 3. I think he had like 3 in the first quarter.
He had 41 last night. Steph Curry finished with 8 3-pointers. So just a gimme there. And didn't even play the whole game because the Warriors beat the Pelicans 123-108. Did you see the score? Who was it? The Wizards last night? Wizards beat the Pacers. Did you see that score?
No.
154-141 in regulation.
My goodness.
Russell Westbrook.
That an all-star game?
Pretty much. Russell Westbrook, 14 points, 21 rebounds, 24 assists.
Right. Say that stat line again.
That's just redonkulous numbers.
14, 21, and 24.
My gosh.
14, 21, and 24?
Yes, and his team scored 154.
Did the other team just decide that they were just not going to play defense?
Russell Westbrook, I believe, is once again averaging a triple-double.
This is why I don't like the NBA at all.
Why is that?
Just because, I mean, you score 150. Basically, it's 2 teams. You go down, you shoot, you score, you back off, and let the other team do the same thing.
You don't like that there's no defense.
Yeah.
And it's not like that throughout the whole league.
I think I'd rather see offense than defense. But I see your point. Westbrook,
look, if you score because you've got a guy that's just on fire, and but you play defense on the other end and shut them down, shut the other team down, okay, I'm fine with it. If you score 150 points and you beat your team by 40 because they're playing good defense along with the offense, I'm fine with it. But when you have 150, what was that score again?
154-140. Yeah.
Yeah. You got both teams. Basically, you're just shooting around in the backyard at this point.
If you go to everybody that hates the NBA in the entire country or even world, they will bring up that reason. Everybody will bring up that reason.
I don't care.
What I'm saying
lump me in with that group. I don't care.
What I'm saying is that you're not the only one that thinks that.
But I'm also saying you can lump me into that group if you want to. I don't care.
She don't care.
And she don't care.
I don't give a rat's ass.
Do you care?
I don't give a rat's ass. I really don't.
Russell Westbrook this season averaging 21, 11, and 11. So he is averaging a triple-double.
It's great to see these old heads still going at it and just putting
Is he old?
Russell Westbrook? Probably not. But he's been. I feel like he's been in the league
getting
forever.
His rookie year was 08-09. So yeah, he's pretty old. But he still plays like he's 18.
That's what I'm saying. This is awesome. Like Steph Curry, his rookie year was in 09. And he's still.
Has he really been that long?
Oh yeah,
man.
Well, I enjoy watching him, drain threes from a ridiculous space on the floor, but the NBA it's not the NBA I'm used to watching. And of course, I know it's
when
a different
you say
game.
Used to watching, you're talking about the 80s at this point, Shirley.
Yeah.
We're
But
almost,
I'm just saying.
You're saying like 40 years ago.
Shut up.
No, literally 40 years ago.
It wasn't 40 years. Yeah,
1981 was. You're probably talking more 91.
I'm talking more in the 90s. But what I'm saying is, and I do realize that the game is way different now than it was back then. I understand that. Don't give me that BS. I'm just saying it's not the game I grew up watching. And it's a completely different, and it's not something that I care for. I'd rather watch college basketball at this point.
Unfortunately, there's no college basketball going on.
I know, but the NBA does not –